Consider the most delicate assembly in the world. It might be a microchip with circuits 1,000 times thinner than a hair, or a capsule of living cells for a cancer therapy, so fragile that the touch of a needle could crush it. For decades, the ultimate enemy of building such tiny, perfect things has been touch itself. Gravity, friction, even static electricity can ruin them. We've had to build in clean rooms with robot arms and ultrafine tools, but contact is always a risk. What if we could build without touching at all? What if we could assemble the microscopic future on a cushion of pure sound? Welcome to Boson Buzz. I'm Monty Molecule, and today we're entering a realm where sound becomes solid, and silence is the ultimate tool. This is the story of the acoustic levitator. Our story begins in the ultra-sterile, vibration-damped environment of an advanced pharmaceutical lab. The goal is to create a new generation of drug delivery capsules. Hollow, biodegradable spheres so tiny they are measured in microns, each designed to carry a payload of medication directly to a single cancer cell. The materials are exotic and sensitive. The old method uses micropipettes and blades under a microscope, a painstaking ballet of contact. But at these scales, the slightest touch can deform the sphere, collapse it, or contaminate it. The quest is for perfection, and perfection seems to require no physical interaction at all. But in a lab that sounds more like a concert hall for physics, researchers are harnessing a fundamental force in a new way: the pressure of sound waves. They are building precise arrays of tiny speakers, smaller than pinheads, arranged in opposing patterns. When these speakers emit sound waves at ultrasonic frequencies, far above human hearing, something extraordinary happens in the space between them. Think of sound not as something you hear, but as a pressure wave moving through the air, like the ripples from a stone dropped in a pond. Now, imagine two sets of perfect ripples meeting head-on from opposite directions. Where the peaks of one wave meet the troughs of the other, they cancel out, creating a point of near silence. But where peak meets peak and trough meets trough, they reinforce each other, creating points of intense high pressure and intense low pressure. By carefully controlling the speakers, researchers can sculpt these points of pressure into invisible, three-dimensional cages of sound. This is the principle of acoustic levitation. A tiny object, like our drug capsule or a microcomponent, is introduced into this field. The intense pressure points act like invisible fingers, pushing against the object from all sides. By adjusting the sound waves in real time, these pressure fingers can precisely balance the force of gravity, suspending the object in midair. It is caught in a standing wave, trapped in a pocket of silent force, completely contact-free. It can be held perfectly still, rotated, or moved along any axis, all by adjusting the sonic landscape around it. Now, let's return to our pharmaceutical challenge. The process begins with the raw materials in liquid form, misted into the levitation chamber. A single perfect droplet is selected and captured in its own acoustic trap. It hangs there, a glistening sphere in midair. Then, from other directions, additional acoustic traps deliver other components: a coating polymer, the active drug molecules, a targeting agent, directing them precisely to the surface of the floating droplet. Using carefully tuned waves, the system can even spin the droplet, ensuring an even, flawless coating as the materials chemically cure under a UV light, also directed from a distance, all without a single touch. The chamber becomes a microscopic factory floor, orchestrated by silent frequencies. Watching through a high-resolution microscope, it appears as magic. Components dance through the air from separate inlets, drawn to the hovering central droplet as if by an unseen intelligence. They merge seamlessly, layer by layer. The acoustic field can be modulated to create gentle ripples across the droplet's surface, mixing internal components with perfect homogeneity to avoid hotspots of medication. This level of control allows for structures previously impossible: capsules within capsules for timed release, or asymmetrical particles with a sticky side for targeting and a smooth side for travel through the bloodstream. Once cured, the finished microcapsule isn't just collected, it is meticulously sorted. The acoustic field can test each particle's density and size by how it resonates in the sound cage, diverting imperfect ones to a recycling stream and allowing only flawless specimens to pass into the final vial. This is quality control baked into the very act of creation. The fully formed microcapsule now levitates, complete. A final adjustment of the sound field gently guides it to an output channel where it is collected, pristine and perfect. This is non-contact manufacturing at its most pure. There is no tool wear, no risk of crush damage, no particulate contamination from manipulators. The only tool is shaped air. The implications resonate far beyond medicine. Imagine assembling micro-electromechanical systems, MEMs for watches or airbag sensors, where tiny gears and springs are welded together in mid-air by a laser, positioned by sound. Envision handling highly reactive chemicals or explosive materials in total safety, as they never touch a container. Think of studying biological samples, like a single sperm or egg cell without the distortion of a glass slide, observing its true, natural form as it floats. It even opens doors to new materials science. By levitating hot, molten metal droplets, Scientists can study their properties and cool them into perfect spheres without the imperfections introduced by a mold. They can mix alloys in midair that would react with any crucible. The acoustic levitator creates a pocket of pure possibility, a space where matter can be manipulated in its ideal state, isolated from the corrupting influence of the world. This technology turns a fundamental nuisance of precision engineering, contact, into a solved problem. It suggests a future where the most advanced and delicate things we build are never touched by human or machine hands, but are crafted by the gentle, invisible hands of sculpted sound. It's a breathtakingly elegant solution, isn't it? To solve the problem of contamination and damage at the smallest scales, we didn't invent a sharper tool or a steadier hand. We learned to play the air itself like an instrument, composing silent symphonies that can hold and shape the building blocks of our future. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most effective touch is no touch at all. This is the promise of a cleaner, more precise world, built on a foundation of carefully controlled nothing. If this vision of contactless creation has captured your imagination, please do like and subscribe to Boson Buzz. Until next time, I'm Monty Molecule. Have a safe and curious week.